Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just make sure that you feel level at the seat bones. Let's have a little wiggle about. Make sure that you're feeling level and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. So for most of us, unless you've done recorded sessions this week, this is the first session of the week on a Friday. So our bodies probably feel like they just need to stretch. Mine definitely does. So just let your breath settle, fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. And empty your lungs from the top to the bottom. Just take some deep inhalations, and again just observe how when you take these conscious inhalations, the energy feels a little different. It feels more invigorating just from that deeper inhalation, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. Elbows into the heels of your hands, heels of the hands into the fingertips. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just again feeling the breath fill from the bottom to the top. Emptying from the top to the bottom. Just observing the physical energy that comes into the body through the deeper conscious breath. As long as there are no problems with blood pressure or any heart conditions that prevent you from holding your breath, then at the top of the in-breath, gently hold the breath for a moment or two. Just for a second or two, and then allow the breath to be normal. Breathing from the top of the lungs to the bottom. Just holding on to that in-breath very briefly, just as a suspension of the breath, no grip. Just letting the inhalation ingest into the blood. If that hold makes you feel anything other than energized, then just normal breathing. And with an out breath, draw your chin down to meet your chest, lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and then hold on to your knees. Elevate the heart area upwards, really opening up the chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears, lifting the chest with the in-breath, and then turning with the out-breath, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs and your shoulders. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Take the back hand into the floor so that you stay on the front edge of the seat bones. As you turn, encourage the seat bones to feel even. And then come back to the center. Come off your lift and then just sit back on your heels. Just spend a moment or two just sitting back on your heels, just observing how your legs are feeling, whether they are carrying the echo of what you've been doing with your legs over the last couple of days. Just observe how your legs feel. Press the shin bone consciously into the shin skin. Press the shin bones into the shin skin so that the thighs activate, so that you elevate the heart area upwards, and then maintaining that connection between the seat bones and the heels come forwards. Just enjoy, because we've had a few days off, just enjoy the feeling of newness. Don't be in a rush to push yourself into the full pose. Keep the heart area lifted, keep the head lifted initially. Keep stretching your arms away, keep the seat bones down on the heels, and then bring the forehead down. If you lose not lose consciousness, what on earth am I talking about? If you lose the seat bones from the heels, then put a block under your head. If you lose consciousness, then this is probably too much. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Take hold of the edges of the mat. Grip the edges of the mat. Grip the edges of the mat like you want to tear them apart, and then push back into the heels. Straighten the arms. Try and tear the mat in half. Straighten your arms.
Press the seat bones down, and then just try and maintain that same connection to the seat bones as you bring your hands flat into the floor. But maintain that action of kind of moving the arms apart, but keep the palms pressing down into the floor. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Press the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Hit the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. And turn the fronts of your thighs inwards. So that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Straighten the legs, lift the fronts of the thighs upwards. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, and then you can pick up the seat bones a little higher from the backs of the thighs. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just initiating the body for your practice. Observe your internal balance of action. Is there an evenness within that action? And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. And then get some blocks for your hands. Bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. And then just make sure that your toes are in line with each other in front of you, that your heels are touching the edges of the mat, that you can feel that the heels and the little toes are on the edge of the mat. Tighten your kneecaps, lift up into the chest, wing the elbows toward each other, and then hinge at the hips. Come forwards, hinging at the hips, feeling the legs, especially the backs of the legs, open up as you come down. Find the blocks, have the blocks underneath your shoulders. Tighten your kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs, especially at the thighs. Go back to that internal balance of action. Keep the head lifted, keep extending the spine away from the legs. Hit the legs back so that your weight goes into your heels. Just feel that moment where the weight transfers directly into the heels. Turn the fronts of the shins inwards, the fronts of the thighs inwards, so that the weight goes into the centre of the heel. Press the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees, the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Lift the seat bones away from the heels and project into the chin and the chest. Concaving in the shoulder blade region. And then go down a little lower if you can, but if you've got a bad back, stay at the higher lift. Or if you lose the pose, if it becomes more like this, where you round your back and bend your knee, then go back to the higher lift. Keep the back straight, keep the legs straight. If you can reach down to the floor, then do. Keep turning the fronts of the legs inwards, the backs of the legs broadening outwards, picking up the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs, feeling on the inside that you are working evenly in both legs, that there's levelness of action between the legs and the arms and the spine, that the breath remains deep and soft
And that the in-breath brings in energy. And then release. Bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into Tadasana. Just come up into Tadasana. The inner edge of the feet together. Really spread the little toes away from the big toes. So the same action in the legs, tighten the kneecaps. Turning the fronts of the thighs and the shins inwards. So that the backs of the thighs turn outwards. But this time tuck the tailbone in. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. Lengthening your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthening from the shoulders into the fingertips. Feel firm in your pose. Tadasana is the mountain pose, as strong as a mountain. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump the feet apart for trikonasana. Turn your left toes in, right leg and foot all the way out. So a couple of notes about the position of the feet. Ideally, the heel comes in line with the instep. That's the kind of classical pose. If you've got stiff hips, then you can bring the foot in line with the toes. If that doesn't work, you can go beyond the toes. You can go further forwards. And then when you come into trikonasana, you'll have more space in your hips. The one position to avoid at all costs is heel on heel, never heel on heel, because that makes you do this. And you want to keep the hips this way. So find the position that works for your hips. Tighten the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the legs outwards. So consciously get hold of this right thigh and turn it from the inside, the big toe side of the foot, to the little toe side. And then sweep across into this left hip. Keep the left hand on the hip, stretch out with the right hand, and then reach over. Find the shin. Keep the legs straight, turning the legs. Drawing the abdomen up to the ceiling, drawing the chest up to the ceiling, drawing that back shoulder towards the back of the room. You don't need to go down any lower than the top of the shin. If you can, you do, but not at the expense of losing this. If your pose becomes like this or something kind of close to that, then just go a little higher up your shin. Stretch up, look up. Notice that the pose, if you look up, it clears out the sinuses. Just feel that front leg buttock bone, the right buttock bone, is in line with your heel, with that right heel. Keep the back leg pushing towards the wall behind you. Keep turning the front thigh from the big toe side to the little toe side across the front. Feel that there is even extension from the hips into the heels, hips into the chest, hips into the arms, or chest into the arms. Come back up to the centre. Swap your feet around, turn the right toes in. Left leg and foot all the way out. And again, just placing the feet according to your need. Tightening the kneecaps, lifting up into the chest. Consciously turning these legs outwards. Keep the right hand on the hip just to keep that shoulder kind of drawing back. Keep the length in the left side as you come over, and then find the shin. Try and keep this length from the hip into the armpit. Turning the chest and the abdomen up to the ceiling. Drawing that top shoulder towards the wall behind you. And then reach up. Just being mindful of the position of the body that the eyes can't see.
See the pose through the feeling of the pose. Look up, breathing in and out through the nose, clearing out the sinuses. Stretching evenly from the hips into the feet, from the hips into the spine, from the chest into the arms. From here we're going to come down into trikonasana, into dog down. If that doesn't work for you, just come out of trikonasana the normal way and then just step the feet together and then come into dog down. Otherwise, bring that top hand down onto the floor. You might have to bend that left leg, bring the hand onto the big toe side, bring the other hand onto the little toe side, turn the back leg and then step yourself back into dog down, svanasana. Just feel how your body feels different in trikonasana. Not trikonasana, in dog down, svanasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Observe how you can lengthen out the sides of the hip, sides of the trunk by pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs, especially in the thighs. Turn the thighs inwards, the opposite of trikonasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, and then step or jump your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then come back into Tadasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just taking deep inhalations, deep exhalations. Arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump, go wide with your legs for prasarita, padottanasana. If you can, then line your heels up with the edge of the mat. So nice and wide with your legs, as wide as you can, and then turn your toes inwards. Lift up into the chest, tighten the kneecaps, lift up into the heart area, wing the elbows towards each other so that the shoulder blades gather together. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone. And then keep the back straight, hinging entirely to the hips like we do in Uttanasana, and then reach forwards. If you can't reach the floor, then use blocks, but be on fingertips either way, rather than heels of hands, which is a collapse in action. Be on fingertips. So at this stage, just adjust the legs so that they feel like they're working evenly. Tighten in the kneecaps, press in the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Unless you've got overextended legs, in which case you just soften the knees a little and then lift the fronts of the thighs up to the tops of the legs. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs, but just let the knees stay relatively soft. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards, keeping the head lifted. Just listening to the breath. If you can reach the floor, if you can straighten your back, if you can concave the shoulder blade region at this stage, then hinge at the hips, bring the head down towards the floor, the heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. If you're still in the first stage, then that's fine, stay at that first stage. Just stay working to straighten the back, to extend the spine. So prasarita, padottanasana. You might have to step your feet a little bit wider apart to find the floor, or put a block underneath your head.
Just observe how the pose is feeling. If you can reach around the outsides of your heels, just pulling the heels in, pushing the heels into the hands. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Feel that both seat bones are lifting evenly, both legs are working evenly in whichever stage of the pose you're in. Release the legs if you're holding onto your ankles. And then lift the head, come back to the center point. Keeping those legs straight, so keeping those legs straight in. If you can, tighten the kneecaps, lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Okay, and then bring the heels of your hands down. Bend your knees a little, hop your feet or step your feet in. And then come up into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together. And then lift the head, lift the chest, lift the body away from the floor. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the sound of the inhalation, the sound of the exhalation. Stretch your arms out in front, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out and raise your arms over your head in baddangulyasana. Feel that the arms are reaching away from the feet are stretching away from the arms. Feel like you're hanging from a hook on the ceiling. Release your arms. Swap the interlock of the fingers so that the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then turn the palms all the way out. Raise your arm back. Lower your arms, bring your arms back down, and then come back into Tadasana, just observing how the energy of your body feels different. Just listen to the breath. Okay, come down onto your back and into supta konasana. So come down onto your back, get hold of your feet, have the feet as close to the seat bones as you can get them, and then let your knees fall apart. Rest your hands on your lower ribs. Let the knees fall apart, press the heels together. Press the outer edge of the feet together. Turn the tailbone in, draw the belly button to the spine. Stretch your arms up to the ceiling, interlock the fingers again, turn the palms all the way out. And extend your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, put blocks on the outsides of your thighs. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, put blocks or a folded blanket underneath your hands so that you support your shoulders. Otherwise, just use the floor. Press the heels consciously together so that you bring compactness into the hips. Turn the tailbone in, draw the belly button towards the spine. Release your arms, swap the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then again lengthen them along the floor. So you're doing the unnatural interlock, it's the other index finger on the top of the stack. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just listening to the breath. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Keeping the heels pressing together. Keeping the outside edge of the feet pressing together consciously. Keeping the toe mounds together. So it really activates your legs in a specific way so that it creates compactness in the hips. Release your arms, just rest your hands on your lower ribs for a moment. Observe again, you can let the feet relax a little bit more. Just feel the energy that you have released into the chest. Through focusing on the breath, through bringing energy into the body by allowing the chest to expand with the in-breath. And relax with the out-breath, we bring in positive energy to the physical body. Broadening the rib cage with the in-breath, broadening the chest with the in-breath. Letting the chest relax with the out-breath. It's the natural movement of breath. When your hands are on your lower ribs, you can feel how the side ribs and the intercostal muscles expand to accommodate the inhalation and release and relax with the out-breath to accommodate the exhalation. Okay, bring your knees together, pull your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side and sit yourself up. Grab yourself a belt and just stretch your legs out in front. Now, if for any reason you find it difficult to sit on directly on the seat bones, if you sink in the chest like this, if your chest sinks when you sit directly on the floor, then get a folded blanket and then sit on that. So sit on the folded blanket or on some blocks. Just roll over, move the backs of the thighs broadly outwards, move the buttock flesh out to the sides, have the feet together, have the hands at the sides of the hips, and roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Again, if you struggle to roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, if you roll onto the back of the seat bones, sit on the left. So turn the legs inwards like we do in Tadasana. So get hold of them and physically turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. And notice that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Lift up into the chest, sitting right on the front edge of the seat bones. Fill in the lungs, allowing the chest to expand with the inhalation. And release with the exhalation. Okay, keep the right leg where it is. Bend the left knee, keeping the seat bones in place as you do, and then bring the foot into the thigh, and then just let this leg reach down to the floor. If this leg's up in the air like this, then get a block and just put the head of the knee under underneath the head of the knee. Otherwise, just you can use the floor. Just make sure that the hips feel level behind you, and then continue to turn this leg from the little toe side to the big toe side. Get your belt, lasso it around the foot, and then cross the belt over so you can reach it if you need it. So at this stage, you probably feel like your torso is going that way between the two legs. So I want you to draw everything towards that right leg. Have the hands on the floor, lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Continuing, remember to turn this leg inwards. Raise your arms up towards the ceiling. Again, is your torso between the two knees, or can you turn the chest to face that straight leg? So you turn the chest, the abdomen from the left to the right, you bring the leg in from the little toe side to the big toe side. If you've got a bad back, then just go down, go back and hold onto the belt, have the belt around the ball joint of the foot. Otherwise, reach up and come forwards. Lengthening forwards and then find the leg. If you can't find the leg, then just go back to the belt. So lift up into the chest. Even if you can reach the foot, try not to reach it like this. Reach around the sides of the foot. But that might not give you enough space to lift the chest. So maybe you go to the belt and you lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. And then you just come forward a little at a time until you can find the foot. Keeping the head lifted at all stages. Never dropping the head. And then just keep bringing the abdomen across the thigh. Bringing the chest across the thigh. Bending your elbows out to the side. If you can reach around the foot, then do. Keeping the head lifted until the chest is in contact with the leg. Bring the head down if you can, but bringing the head down isn't the important part of the pose. It's coming forwards with a straight back. That's the important part of the pose. So janu, sirsasana, a really good pose for the liver, for the kidneys, just stretching out and massaging the liver and the kidneys. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Just using the belt or using the hands around the feet. Gently coming forwards. Never forcing yourself into position. Never dropping the head too soon. And then lift your head, come back to the center, just holding onto that belt. And then lifting up into the chest, feeling the openness around the front of the chest. Okay, stretch both legs out. Just have the belt around your feet for a moment, just while you stretch out the legs, lifting up into the chest. Activate the thighs, lift them away from the knees, press the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. And then just take the right knee and bring that leg out to the side, keeping the seat bones in place as you do, and then hook the belt around the foot and cross it over. Remember, if this knee is high, then you just support the head of the knee with the block. If the outside of the calf muscle is on the floor, then as long as it doesn't aggravate your knee in any way, then
You don't need the block. So turn this leg inwards, turn the leg inwards. Turn the chest to face that straight leg and raise your arms up. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then either go, if you've got a bad back, just go straight for the belt, just holding onto the belt, or come forwards, keeping the back straight, keeping the head lifted, keeping the arms lifted as you come forwards, and then reach the foot, reach around the outside edge of the foot, take the thumbs around with the fingers. Again, you might just want to give yourself a bit more space, even if you can come forwards with the belt. So just give yourself that little extra space if you need it. Turning the chest and the abdomen towards that leg, turning the leg in towards the other foot. Coming forwards a little bit at a time. And observe that this feels different than the other side. And if it doesn't, then you're probably not paying attention. Just observe how this feels. Reach around the foot if you can, but just working slowly, working within your limitations. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, observing how this feels different to the other side. Maybe it feels more restrictive, maybe it feels less restrictive. Just observe it. Coming forwards. If you can, if your abdomen reaches the thigh, if your chest reaches the leg, then you can bring the head down, but that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to come forwards with a straight back. So keeping the head lifted is a really good way of ensuring that your back stays straight. Keep turning the front of the thigh inwards, that straight leg. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just massaging the liver, stretching out the kidney region. And then lift your head. Coming back to the centre, just taking hold of the belt. And then holding onto the belt, lifting up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then just straighten out your leg. And then come into cross legs. Just come into normal cross legs. Just sitting on either seat bones, just sitting on both seat bones. Hold onto your knees and roll onto the front edge of your seat bones, lifting up into the chest. So if your knees are really high, then sit on a lift. If your knees are high, often it's because you just cross your shins. So everyone walk your feet out so that the feet are pretty much underneath the knees. And then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, drawing the shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation. Take a deep exhalation. And then with an exhalation, turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. Again, if this feels restricted, then sit on a lift. Sometimes we go into half padottanasana of this, but today we're just staying in swastikasana. And then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest.
and then turn to the left. And then very gently come back to the center. Just come off your, so straighten out your legs, come down onto your back. Just stretching yourself out along the mat. Hold onto the edges of the mat, pull your knees in toward your chest, and then stretch your legs up. In viparita, karanhi, turning the fronts of the shins inwards, the fronts of the thighs inwards, keeping the legs straight. Put a lift underneath your lower back, like a block, or you can put a bolster underneath your lower back if you struggle to straighten your legs. So holding onto the edges of the mat so that you can broaden the collarbone. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor. Have your feet apart, your knees together. Just resting yourself into the floor. And then straighten out your legs. Just come up onto your elbows. Make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. Have a folded blanket for underneath your head, or a pillow for underneath your head. Just supporting the back of your head, the back of your neck. And then just let the legs fall apart. Let the arms rest into the floor. Observe how the body has changed, how the energy of your body has changed. Let the body rest into the floor. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs so that the body becomes heavy on the ground. And out of that heaviness, observe that sensation of physical lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs.
Feeling that energy radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the internal organs and the external organs, the skin, the flesh. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Continuing to fill the lungs fully from the bottom to the top. Ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bringing yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock side to side from top to bottom, just massaging out the back. And then roll over onto your right side, stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just cross legs with your hands in the masti. Just a final spinal lift. Breathing in through the nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created around the heart area. And then send positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you've really lifted your energy and given yourself some good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.